We begin the week with today's top stories. The Judicial Bar Council is set to deliberate the automatic inclusion of 5 senior justices in the shortlist for the next Chief Justice. Malacanang maintains that the government is dealing with the country's territorial issues in the West Philippine Sea. Resident beneficiaries in Boracay are set to receive the second phase of their livelihood assistance. And the San Miguel Beermen draw first blood against Alaska in the PBA Commissioner's Cup semifinals. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang vows to exert more effort in educating Filipinos on federalism. This follows the release of a Pulse Asia survey saying majority still oppose charter change and federalism. More on this from Miguel Hill.
Majority of Filipinos are still seen to be against amending the 1986 Constitution and shifting to a federal form of government. A recent Pulse Asia survey showed that 67% of its 1,800 respondents believe the Constitution should not be amended. 18% support charter change, while 14% are unsure. Likewise, 67% of them also reject a federal system of government. 28% support federalism. The survey, however, shows that 74% of the respondents barely know anything about the current Constitution, while 69% know little about federalism. The survey was conducted as regional consultations on the draft federal charter began and a week before the Consultative Committee on Constitutional Amendments submitted it to President Rodrigo Duterte. Malacanang says it has taken note of the survey, acknowledging that Filipinos cannot support an initiative that they know only little about. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says Malacanang vows to exert more effort to inform and educate the public about federalism since the approval of the charter change ultimately lies in the hands of the Filipino people. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
The Judicial Bar and Council is set to deliberate on the inclusion of the 5 most senior Supreme Court justices in the shortlist of candidates for the Chief Justice post. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara says the JBC will meet on July 20 to decide whether to reconsider the rule on automatic inclusion in the shortlist for the Chief Justice position. Guevara also said the members will vote on the shortlist of candidates for the country's next ombudsman. The 5 justices are Acting Chief Justice Antonio Carpio and Justices Presbiterio Velasco Jr., Teresita Leonardo de Castro, Diosdado Peralta, and Lucas Bersamin. These justices have yet to formally accept or decline their automatic nomination. Meanwhile, JBC member Jose Mejia has revealed that no applications or nominations for Chief Justice have been submitted so far since Maria Lourdes Sereno was ousted last June 19. Guevara said the release of new application forms was delayed in relation to the waiver of confidentiality rule on bank deposits for judiciary applicants. The deadline for nomination and application is on July 26. Malacanang maintains that it is quietly working on resolving issues related to the West Philippine Sea. The palace is reacting to an SWS survey saying 4 out of 5 surveyed Filipinos want the government to act on the country's territorial dispute. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque says the government responds promptly to moves involving violations of the country's sovereignty, such as China's militarization. The palace says the government under President Duterte continues to protect the interest of the country. Malacanang earlier reassured the public that it remains firm in upholding the country's sovereign rights over the disputed waters. The government will pursue localized peace talks despite protests from Communist Party of the Philippines founder Jose Maria Sison. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana says Sison's criticisms against localized peace talks are not surprising, yet at the same time nothing but a noisy distraction. Lorenzana says they have now brought the disclosure to the local insurgents, with Sison being excluded. The defense chief chided Sison for thinking that the government would stop its peace initiatives just because Sison does not support it. Lorenzana also questioned Sison's influence over the communist rebels, saying more of them are surrendering to reintegrate with society. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque earlier said President Rodrigo Duterte will issue an executive order for localized peace talks should talks between the government and the CPP fail to materialize. The wife of slain General Tino, Mayor Ferdinand Bote, thanks the government after the arrest of 2 persons allegedly involved in the shooting. More on this from Rom Dulfo.
The wife of slain Mayor Ferdinand Bote is thankful for the arrest of 2 alleged gunmen and expressed hope that the mastermind will soon be in custody. The 2 suspects were arrested in a police checkpoint in Camarines Sur last July 11. Maybelline Bote thanked President Duterte and the Philippine National Police for their exhaustive efforts to bring the culprits to justice. She said her husband led a simple life ever since. He did not have security escorts because he always believed that God was always with him. She now hopes the incident will not happen again to others who are in government positions. PDP Laban, the party of the late mayor, is expected to nominate Maybelline Bote to the Sangguniang Bayan for a seat that will be permanently vacated since the top councilman is now the vice mayor. Police said at least 7 people could be involved in the Bote assassination. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Still to come, the Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines urges the public to stop blaming President Duterte for the death of local officials. Resident beneficiaries in Boracay are set to receive the second phase of their livelihood assistance. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente. July 6, Biyernes, Davao City. Dumalo si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa selebrasyon ng National Science and Technology Week sa SMX Convention Center, Lanang. July 7, Sabado, Matina, Davao City. Pinangunahan ni Pangulong Duterte ang inaugurasyon ng Malayan Colleges, Mindanao. July 9, Lunes, Malacanang. Tinanggap ng Chief Executive ang proposed Federal Constitution na binuo ng Consultative Committee sa pamumuno ni retired Chief Justice Reynato Puno. Binati sa phone call ni Pangulong Duterte ang bagong halal na Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. Kinagabihan ay muling nagtipon ang gabinete para sa 27th Cabinet Meeting. July 10, Martes, Pampanga. Nangako ang Pangulo na tutulungan ang maliliit na negosyante sa National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Summit 2018. Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
The national president of the Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines has called on the public to refrain from attributing the killings of vice mayors to President Rodrigo Duterte. VMLP National President Donabel Joy Mejia of Magsaysay, Davao del Sur says the killing of Cavite Vice Mayor Alex Lubigan and Tawi-Tawi Vice Mayor Al-Rashid Mohammed Ali are isolated cases related to local politics. She added that officials could be victims of a political feud in their areas, and this could not be blamed on the president. Mejia suspects there are people riding on the issue because of the killings of Batangas Mayor Antonio Halili and Nueva Ecija Mayor Ferdinand Bote. She said the VMLP has already asked the Philippine National Police for security personnel, but PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde advised vice mayors to hire private security personnel from accredited security agencies. A business research firm is backing forecasts of heightened economic activity in the Philippines in the medium term as the government's infrastructure program goes into high gear. In its latest report, the Oxford Business Group says infrastructure development to ensure future economic growth is both sustainable and more inclusive. It says infrastructure is generating new opportunities nationwide as seen in the country's emerging cities. The OBG report also noted the shifting financing strategy of the government, which favors tapping overseas development assistance and international borrowings than public-private partnership. Aside from the boost in infrastructure, the manufacturing, services, and trade sectors provide firm foundations for the future expansion of the economy. Meanwhile, uncertainty over tax reforms and the need to improve supply chains are among the challenges faced by the country. Nevertheless, a CEO survey showed 92% of the surveyed top business executives said they have positive or very positive outlook for local business conditions over the next 12 months. The Department of Social Welfare and Development is asking for an additional 90 million pesos in funding to implement Phase 2 of its project in Boracay. The project includes community-based livelihood and enterprise for the island's residents. The Boracay Technical Support Team and DSWD Field Office 6 is making the implementation guidelines for the project. In the first phase of the Cash for Work program, the DSWD completed its target of 1,898 beneficiaries who received some 18 million pesos. The DSWD says they have other projects such as a livelihood asset rehabilitation grant worth 9.7 million pesos and assistance to individuals in crisis situations. About 57 million pesos in livelihood aid have been distributed to residents affected by the shutdown of Boracay. 10 soldiers who were wounded in a recent clash with Abu Sayyaf bandits in Sulu were awarded medals for gallantry in action by the Western Mindanao Command, or West MINCOM. West MINCOM Chief Lieutenant General Arnel de la Vega awarded the medals during his visit to the soldiers at Camp Teodulfo Bautista Station Hospital in Jolo, Sulu. The recipients are from the Army's 32nd Infantry Battalion, who were hurt in a 2-hour sporadic firefight with around 60 Abu Sayyaf bandits on Wednesday in Patikul, Sulu. The troops were on a military operation when they clashed with a group of Abu Sayyaf sub-leader Hatib Hajan Sawadjaan. Some of the wounded soldiers were admitted at Camp Teodulfo Bautista Station Hospital, while the others were airlifted to Camp Navarro General Hospital. De la Vega commended the soldiers for their professionalism, dedication, and willingness to give up their lives for people who live in peace within their communities. The Department of Agriculture is studying the establishment of a fishing village in Samal Island in Mindanao. The fishing village is seen to give Bajau families in Davao del Norte a proper and stable livelihood. Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol made the announcement as the department distributed fishing and farming tools such as fiberglass boats as well as agricultural assistance. Piñol also urged beneficiaries to help in guarding the oceans and lead cleanup drives in their communities. Local government units are meanwhile told to maintain zero illegal fishing, clean coastal waters, regulated closed fishing season, and management of marine sanctuaries and mangrove areas. Piñol vowed to allocate 30 million peso credit funds for the Davao region through the Production Loan Easy Access program. Schools dedicated to Islam teach children values founded on their faith. One school in Zamboanga City takes its curriculum one step further, teaching students not only to be good Muslims but also to be good Filipinos. Benj Bondoc has our featured Salam story.
About 40% of the population of Zamboanga City are Muslims, many of whom immigrated to the city due to peace and order problems or opportunities not available in their native provinces. Unlike their more liberal-minded Christian neighbors, most Muslim parents want their children to acquire early on solid religious trainings, reason why madrasas are found in most barangays. A few schools in the region offer religious instruction in addition to standard academic programs. One of them is the Islamic Institute of the Philippines, located in Zamboanga's downtown barangay, Rio Hondo. The private school was founded in 1990. Some 1,000 students here are enrolled in kindergarten, elementary, and secondary courses. School Administrator and Vice President Dr. Hajjad Tahil Jamiri says this school is dedicated to teach Muslim youths how to follow and serve Allah, Prophet Muhammad, and their leaders so they grow up to be productive and peace-loving citizens. The school teaches Arabic language as well as Islamic lessons such as culture and traditions, and history that covers the beginning of mankind in the context of religious evolution. This way, students learn about the fundamental connections between Islam and Christian faiths, which leads to interreligious dialogue and peace building. Since most students are Tausugs and kindred tribes, the main medium of instruction is Tausug dialect, reinforced by Filipino. The Islamic Institute of the Philippines aims to develop professionals and leaders who are God-fearing, law-abiding citizens with rational understanding to coexist peacefully with non-Muslims. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondok.
Up next, the POEA announces job openings for some 400 Filipino nurses in Germany. The San Miguel Beermen draw first blood against Alaska in the PBA Commissioner's Cup semifinals. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Ang una pong naibigay sa amin na common service facility, yung hand tractor. Yun po ay nagagamit na natin ngayon sa pagsasaka, saka support facility na rin sa ibang business natin tulad ng rice milling. Ngayon itong traktora na ito, mapapadali ang pagsasaka dahil makakatulong ito sa ating land preparation.
Ngayong 30th year po natin, nakita po natin yung phases of implementation. Ngayon po, may support services. Ngayon po, may mga tractors na pinamimigay. Ngayon po, ang agrarian reform, ang Department of Agrarian Reform, may mga kalsada, may mga tulay, may mga foreign assisted projects. Lahat po, binuo po yan para po sa ating mga magsasaka. Kaya palakpakan po ninyo ang ating mga magsasaka kasi kung wala po kayo, wala naman po kaming isi-celebrate na aming 30th year.
Thy kingdom come, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb.
Lagi po kaming nakaantabay sa lahat ng pangangailangan. But in return po, ang lagi lang po namin hinihingi is sana po habang lumalago ang kanilang organisasyon, lahat po ng mga miyembro sa organisasyon na yon ay kasama po na nag-grow sa organization. Kasi in return po, yung community po ang sa community din po natin nakikita kung gaano po kaunlad ang isang organization. So this 30th anniversary, sana po tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang samahan ng ating mga organisasyon at ang Department of Revenue. Maraming salamat.
The Philippine Overseas Employment Administration is accepting applications for Filipino nurses who want to work in Germany. The POEA says Germany's Triple Win project needs about 400 nurses. Qualified applicants must be Filipino citizens and permanent residents of the Philippines, graduates of a Bachelor of Science in Nursing who have a Philippine nursing license and with 2 years' worth of experience in hospitals, rehabilitation centers, or care institutions. They must also know how to speak German or undergo German language training. Successful candidates will receive an initial monthly salary of 1,900 euros, which will be increased up to 2,300 euros. Qualified applicants may register online at the POEA website and submit documentary requirements personally or contact the POEA for more details. A day after his sensational win in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, world boxing champion Senator Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao will return home on Monday afternoon to another grand hero's welcome. The fighting senator, who wrestled the World Boxing Association's regular welterweight title from Argentinian Lucas Matisse, will be given arrival honors at the city airport by a police and army contingent. Lady Manalo, assistant head of the City Sports and Games Development Division, said Monday they are all set for the highly anticipated homecoming of the city's favorite son. Mayor Ronel Rivera, who witnessed the fight in Kuala Lumpur along with several other city officials, will join the motorcade. The hero's welcome for Pacquiao has become a tradition for the city every time he comes home from fights abroad, regardless of the result. The 8th Division World Boxing Champion, who is considered a local hero, returned to the ring more than a year after a controversial unanimous loss to Australian Jeff Horn. In a related development, Jack Tepora became the new interim WBA featherweight champion after defeating Mexico's Edivaldo Ortega in the co-main event of the Fight of Champions at the Asiata Arena. The Cebuano found an opening to send Ortega down with a round haymaker late at the round 9. Despite Ortega making the 8 count, Tepora charged through and went for a flurry, forcing the referee to declare the technical knockout. In basketball, the San Miguel Beermen have taken Game 1 of their best-of-5 semifinal series against the Alaska Aces in the PBA Commissioner's Cup on Saturday. Junmar Fajardo led the Beermen with double digits as they sunk the Aces. Fajardo scored 17 points while Alex Cabagnot and Renaldo Balkman tallied 15 and 13 respectively. Marshall Lassiter contributed 12 points to go with his 4 assists and 4 rebounds. Christian Stand Hardinger and Kelly Nabong also contributed from the bench with a combined 20 points. Jamon Simpson carried most of the scoring duties for Alaska with 31 points. For our feature story, police in Bacolod City took time off to give back to the community by leading efforts to clean up parts of Mambulok River. More on this story from Maricor Zapata.
It's the 23rd Police Community Relations Month. On this occasion, policemen in Bacolod led a simultaneous cleanup of rivers around the city on Saturday morning. The police teams, joined by barangay officials, volunteers, and students, started the cleanup around 6 a.m. A group of cops led by Superintendent Victorino Romanillos, Deputy City Director for Administration, and Superintendent Leonardo Bromeo, Deputy City Director for Operation, conducted the cleanup in Mambulok River in Barangay 10 under Village Chief Dexter Yacht. Police Station 6 personnel, led by Senior Inspector Wilfredo Benoman Jr., joined the cleanup in the area. They were able to collect 15 sacks of garbage from Mambulok River. Personnel of Police Station 4, led by Senior Inspector Adrian Real, were assisted by the village watchmen of Barangay Estefania under Barangay Captain Jerry Tingson in the cleanup under the Villa Angeles Bridge. In Barangay 5, led by Village Chief Raimundo Salveria, personnel of Police Station 2 under Senior Inspector Leo Estopa initiated the cleanup of Lacson Creek. They were joined by senior high school students of APA Computer College, Bacolod. The team from Police Station 3, headed by Senior Inspector Victor Paulino, were assisted by Barangay Mandalagan Anti-Drug Abuse Council in cleaning up and declogging the Our Lady of Mercy Bridge in Purok, Bulac. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's a recap of today's top stories. The Judicial Bar Council is set to deliberate on the automatic inclusion of 5 senior justices in the shortlist for the next Chief Justice. Malacanang maintains that the government is dealing with the country's territorial issues in the West Philippine Sea. Resident beneficiaries in Boracay are set to receive the second phase of their livelihood assistance. And the San Miguel Beermen draw first blood against Alaska in the PBA Commissioner's Cup semifinals. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And as we begin the week, let's kick off the Monday blues by keeping in mind that things are never easy until they get done. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.